Get ready for the news that is shaking up the digital landscape. LinkedIn is fighting back against the flood of AI slop. Laura Lorenzetti, VP and executive editor of LinkedIn, reveals the new technology the company is unleashing to eliminate low-quality AI content from user feeds. We dive into how LinkedIn is building systems to distinguish genuine expertise from algorithm-chasing AI content and what this means for your professional feed. Kernel memory safety, and the risk facing developer workstations and enterprise Linux deployments. This vulnerability is part of a worrying trend of high-impact Linux flaws, and cybersecurity experts are urging immediate action. We break down what Dirty Decrypt means for systems running Fedora and Arch Linux, and what administrators need to do right now to protect their infrastructure. Stay with us for the full breakdown. LinkedIn is launching a multi-pronged technological offensive to combat the proliferation of low-quality, algorithm-chasing content, commonly referred to as AI slop, on its platform. The company is actively working to distinguish genuine professional expertise from content generated by artificial intelligence, recognizing that while AI boosts content creation, it also enables the mass production of unsubstantiated material. Laura Lorenzetti, VP and executive editor of LinkedIn, noted that content creation on the platform has increased by 14% year-over-year, a trend she attributes partly to the accessibility of AI tools, which allows many users to generate high volumes of low-quality content. To address this challenge, differentiating between AI-assisted content and valuable insights, LinkedIn is focusing its efforts on 3 core areas. First, stopping AI slop. This involves developing an AI-solving AI approach. LinkedIn has built technology systems that analyze user engagement patterns and linguistic elements to identify content lacking original thought or substance. This process begins with human editorial teams annotating thousands of posts to label them as generic or original, which then trains machine learning models to scale this detection. The goal is to ensure nuanced, expert insights thrive, while low-value content is suppressed. Second, curbing AI bots in comments. LinkedIn is targeting comments that are suspiciously formal, repetitive, or merely summarize the original post, which are hallmarks of AI-generated replies. The platform is building classifiers to analyze the actual language used in comments, alongside posting patterns, to flag these low-quality interactions, even if the tools are technically banned. Third, eliminating attention bait videos. LinkedIn is tackling visually driven content, such as lengthy videos paired with generic advice or platitudes, which are designed purely to maximize viewership without offering real value. LinkedIn's enforcement strategy is gradual. Instead of outright deletion, the algorithm will depress the reach of identified AI slop, often limiting visibility to a poster's immediate network. Lorenzetti cautioned that this is an ongoing battle, stating that AI slop is just the latest challenge, and the company will continue to monitor for evolving methods users employ to game the platform's algorithms. Professional networking site LinkedIn has released its latest ranking of top companies for career growth, highlighting key employers in Chicago and the United States. The data, sourced from LinkedIn's platform, assesses companies based on metrics such as the proportion of employees acquiring new skills and the speed at which employees advance within the organization. This information is designed to assist job seekers in identifying environments that foster significant professional development. Focusing on companies with 100 or more full-time employees, LinkedIn identified several leading organizations in the Chicago area. The top 3 Chicago companies on the list are all headquartered locally, including a historic financial institution in the city. These top Chicago employers include AbbVie, McDonald's, and United Airlines, alongside major corporations like Accenture, J.P. Morgan Chase, Northern Trust, Medellin, Abbott, PwC, the Options Clearing Corporation, OCC. Furthermore, LinkedIn published its 2026 list of the best employers across the entire U.S. This national ranking features industry giants such as J.P. Morgan Chase, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, Wells Fargo, Northrop Grumman, Walmart, Capital One, AT&T, and Bank of America. The report underscores the importance of workplace environment in shaping career trajectories, emphasizing the value of developing skills and building professional networks. Professional networking site LinkedIn has released a ranking of the top companies in Chicago, USA, for career growth, providing valuable insights for job seekers. The report, featured in USA Today, emphasizes the significant impact where one works can have on career development, skill acquisition, networking opportunities, and future trajectory. LinkedIn compiled this data by analyzing markers such as the percentage of employees actively pursuing new skills and the speed at which employees advance within their organizations. The analysis focused specifically on companies with 100 or more full-time employees. The findings highlight that the best environments for career development in Chicago are rooted locally, with one of the city's oldest financial institutions also securing a spot on the list. LinkedIn identified several top employers in the Chicago area as ideal locations for building a professional career. The article references LinkedIn's broader 2026 list of the best employers in the U.S., indicating that the Chicago-specific ranking is part of a larger national assessment of career-enhancing workplaces. A critical root-level Linux privilege escalation vulnerability, dubbed Dirty Decrypt, has surfaced after researchers released a proof-of-concept exploit, escalating security concerns across the cybersecurity community. The flaw resides within the Linux kernel's RxGK subsystem, which is utilized by the Andrew File System, AFS. Researchers identified the vulnerability, also referred to as Dirty CBC, as a memory handling issue in the RxGK decrypt SKB function, stemming from a missing copy-on-write guard that permits page cache corruption under specific conditions. Exploitation allows an attacker with local access to overwrite privileged memory regions and achieve root privileges. While no official CVE has been assigned, technical indicators strongly suggest a link to CVE 2026-31635, a flaw quietly patched upstream in April. The public release of exploit code significantly heightens the risk, particularly for developer workstations, cloud environments, and enterprise Linux deployments tracking cutting-edge kernel releases. The impact is concentrated on systems running Linux kernels compiled with the CONFIG-RxGK option enabled, affecting distributions like Fedora, Arch Linux, and OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. The exploit has been validated against Fedora systems and unmodified upstream kernels. This vulnerability joins a family of recent kernel flaws, including Dirty Frag and Copy Fail, which exploit subtle memory management weaknesses. This recurrence underscores growing scrutiny on Linux kernel memory safety, especially in subsystems managing cryptography and networking. Security analysts are emphasizing that the availability of public exploits drastically shortens the window between disclosure and active exploitation. Attackers are increasingly leveraging these local privilege escalation flaws to chain into broader intrusion campaigns, targeting containers, cloud workloads, and CI/CD pipelines. Organizations are urgently advised to prioritize immediate kernel updates, especially those running Fedora Rawhide, Arch rolling kernels, or experimental builds. For systems unable to patch immediately, researchers suggest a temporary mitigation. disabling vulnerable kernel modules associated with RX RPC and ESP networking components via ModProbe configuration changes, though this carries risks to ISEC VPN and AFS operations. Incident responders are expected to see an increase in scanning and opportunistic attacks targeting vulnerable Linux systems.